Let's talk about something I think we can all relate to. If you're over 60, that annual eye exam can feel like just another thing to check off a very long to-do list, right? But what if we stopped treating it like a simple errand and started seeing it for what it truly is? A critical, absolutely non-negotiable health strategy. In this explainer, we're going to do just that. We're going to completely reframe that appointment using a really simple, powerful checklist. This quote, this really gets to the heart of it all. It comes from someone who, well, like a lot of us, kept putting their exams on the back burner. When they finally went, after a few years, their doctor found damage that had been quietly building up. That single visit was a huge wake-up call, and it's exactly why we're talking about this today.
And here's why it matters so much. By the time you're in your mid-60s, roughly 1 in 3 adults will have an eye disease that could impair their vision. But here's the really unnerving part. A lot of those people have absolutely no idea because, their sight still feels fine.
And that brings us to the core problem, doesn't it? Waiting around for symptoms to show up is just a dangerous game to play when it comes to your eyes. The biggest threats to your vision, well, they rarely knock on the door to announce they've arrived. And here they are, the 4 leading causes of blindness in older adults. We're talking about cataracts, glaucoma, age-related macular degeneration, you'll hear it called AMD, and diabetic retinopathy. All of them have one thing in common. They tend to start in silence. By the time you actually notice a big change in how you see, some significant and often permanent damage may have already been done. So, the big question is, how do you get ahead of this? Well, the very first step is to get a real handle on your personal risk profile. We're about to do a quick 60-second scan that'll turn that vague feeling of, I should probably go, into a focused, productive conversation with your doctor. All right, grab a piece of paper or just count on your fingers. Let's go through this. Give yourself a check for every one that applies to you. Are you 65 or older? Do you have diabetes? What about high blood pressure or high cholesterol? Is there a close relative, a parent or sibling with glaucoma or AMD? Are you a current smoker, or did you used to be? Are you taking certain medications like steroids or some of the new GLP-1 drugs? And finally, have you noticed any new and sudden floaters or flashes in your vision? Okay, got your number? Let's tally it up. If you check just 0 or 1 box, you're likely in the low-risk zone. But hey, annual exams are still a really smart move after 65. If you checked 2 to 3 boxes, that puts you in the at-risk category. You should definitely be talking to your doctor about getting checked every 6 to 12 months. And if you checked 4 or more, well, you're considered high risk, and it is absolutely crucial that you have a clear, set plan for how often you get exams and that you know exactly what symptoms mean you need to make an urgent call. All right, now that you've got a sense of your risk, let's switch gears from just finding the problem to actually solving it. Because showing up prepared can turn what feels like a rushed 10-minute visit into a really powerful strategy session for your health. And look, it can be this simple. Just 3 things to pack. First, your glasses and any prescriptions, even the old ones, because they help show the trends over time. Second, a complete list of your medications, and I mean everything, including any over-the-counter supplements you take for your eyes. And third, your insurance cards. Just having these 3 items with you makes you an informed partner in your own care. It's a game changer. Okay, let's build on that. You've sized up your risk, you've packed your toolkit, now it's time for the most powerful tool you have once you're in that exam room, asking the right questions. You could probably ask 100 different questions, right? But we're going to zero in on 3 absolute powerhouses that cut right through the medical jargon and get you the answers you actually need to protect your sight. The first one is all about the big picture, the trajectory. Don't settle for a simple everything looks fine. Asking for a direct comparison to last year forces a much more valuable discussion about the trend. Is your eye pressure stable? Are there tiny changes on your retinal scan? Knowing which direction things are heading is so much more valuable than a single snapshot in time. Question 2 is about being direct. Don't be shy. Name the diseases you're most worried about. This prompts your doctor to give you a very specific assessment for each of those big 3 causes of vision loss. And if the answer is yes, the follow-up is simple. Okay, so what's our plan? And this third question, honestly, this one could literally save your sight. This is about establishing your emergency action plan. What does a sudden shower of new floaters actually mean? What about that scary symptom of a dark curtain falling over your vision? Getting clear, simple rules for which symptoms demand immediate attention is one of the most important things you can walk away with from your visit. All right, let's talk about something that's often a source of stress and, let's be real, a lot of confusion: the money. Understanding how your eye care gets billed, especially if you're on Medicare, is key to avoiding those nasty surprise costs. So, the single most crucial thing to understand is this distinction right here. Is your visit considered routine, or is it medical? A routine exam is just for checking your vision and getting a new glasses prescription. A medical exam, on the other hand, is for managing a disease like glaucoma or diabetic retinopathy. One is usually covered by a separate vision plan, while the other gets billed to your medical insurance, like Medicare Part B. Knowing the difference beforehand is everything. Let's make this really concrete. This table shows you exactly how it works. See that annual diabetic eye exam? That's medical. So it goes toward your Medicare Part B deductible, and after that you pay about 20%. But getting a new glasses prescription, that's routine, and it would fall under your vision plan's copay and rules. This is exactly why asking, how will this visit be coded, before you leave the office is so incredibly important. And speaking of that deductible, here is a key number to keep in your head for 2025 in the US, $257. That's the Medicare Part B deductible. Any medical eye services will count toward this amount before your 20% coinsurance kicks in. Just knowing this helps you plan your healthcare expenses for the entire year. Wow. Okay, we've covered a ton of ground, from understanding your risks, to the questions you need to ask, to the costs. So now let's pull it all together into a simple plan you can literally put into action in the next 15 minutes. And this isn't complicated, I promise. First, if you're due, open your calendar right now, and book that exam. Second, go find an envelope, label it eye exam kit, and put your current glasses prescription inside to get it started. Third, open the notes app on your phone and just type in those 3 key questions we covered. That's it, you're done. You are now officially prepared. So we end right where we began. Your eyesight is how you see the faces of the people you love, how you navigate your world. It is not just another task to check off a list. It is an essential part of your life, and it deserves a proactive plan. So the only question left is, what are you going to do in the next 15 minutes to protect it?